It's about 8:05 Sunday morning, heading out to the heading out to the time trial, which is about an hour and 20-minute ride away. The road is dead. Sweet. So this is the second ride I've done this weekend. It's also the second ride in a row that my heart rate has been weirdly very high. Like 10 to 15 beats more for the same power. And I've got no other symptoms apart from that, so I'm assuming, and judging by what has happened last week with my cold and this week with not as much intensity, I'm assuming I'm still very fresh. Just having a little course recon. This is the return 5 miles back to the HQ. I'm doing 22 mile an hour in a tailwind, sat up, doing 200 watts. So it's going to be really hard out, which I knew would be the case, which makes it very easy to pace. In terms of, this isn't really a 10 mile time trial, it's more of a 5 mile time trial. And then just get aero coming back, get real aero, because the speed I'm going to be coming back at, hopefully, will be huge, even on a road bike. So I don't usually ride the course, or any courses really, beforehand. Just so happens that it's on the way here. This is like the side road, I guess you can call it a service road, off the side of that dual carriageway. I'm looking at, like, it's going to be, well, I just rode back that 5 mile length in 12 minutes, sat up. So, you know, 10 minutes flat, 9 minutes to get back here to the finish is going to be like probably what a lot of people are going to be doing today. I don't know what I'll do on a road bike, but we'll give it a nudge. But I think the important bit is definitely this outward stretch, because I've just turned around to come to the HQ and it is a stonking headwind, like filthy. But it looks like I'm quite early. And welcome to the glamorous Resolving HQ.
So I think my heart rate's so high because I'm generally anxious and nervous. First event of the year. First time trial I've done in yonks. Well, open time trial. This is the first kind of form test. So, Bynea are organising this event. Bynea is my club, my home club, and the club's invested in a really handy tool to get the club out there, more exposure on social media. And it's a huge banner that goes behind riders that are on the podium getting photos. It must be sick.
All right, I'm back in. I'm in a different county actually. I'm home. I'm in Carmarthenshire. I've just ridden back from the time trial. I didn't want to hang about. I'm actually quite warm though. I didn't want to hang about there, even though I did. It took me ages to get changed into dry kit again, almost as long as it took me to do the time trial, in fact, which was 21 minutes flat, or 21 minutes 4 seconds, which was good enough for second place. which I'm chuffed about. But it's just about building into that big picture. As far as I'm aware, I'm not sure, I didn't lap it quite right on the Wahoo, but I think I got in around 380 or so watts, which is like 6.3, 6.4 watts per kilo, I think. But that's all irrelevant because obviously it's a time trial, and the guy who won, fair play to him, did a super quick time, about 25-30 seconds faster than me. But my road bike held out well, and I'm super chuffed with it. And I was able to get quite aero. I had a skin suit on, obviously, and everything like that. And I think personally, like, I paced it spot on, like going hard out to the turn. I got there in some like 12-13 minutes, and then coming back, I was just absolutely, like, I don't know, balling in the tailwind. I didn't really have to do anything in the tailwind. Like, I flogged myself so much in the headwind to gain time that coming back wasn't an issue. And there was a horrendous hailstorm halfway through. It was not the best conditions. It was not like a floater day, as people call it. But I got talking to a few people in the HQ, and I don't want people to think that what I do is the right thing to do, and I'm doing me, and you should do you. But like, me riding there, which is like an hour and 15, and then riding home an hour and 15, and then doing the event and things like that, that's me. Like, that always has been me. Riding with a rucksack, that's always been me. Like, that doesn't make me any better than you, doesn't make me any worse than you. It makes me just the same as you. I know that equipment is equipment, I know that drag is drag, and it all plays a part, but I'm there for a much bigger reason than just that day, and I think everybody else should be as well. You know, it's, unless that's your main event and that's your main goal. But I don't know, I feel like I'm just rambling now about random stuff. There's also a rider that I coach as well that rode the event, and like, she's been going really well in training, like really dedicated and doing like all the right stuff, and just like, she's changing position, she's on time trial bike and things like that. And lots of things happened this morning, like before the event even started. Like, the car broke down, she wasn't able to get to the event like under her own steam. Her warm-up was then compromised, nutrition potentially compromised, like preparation, mindset, everything. So when I received a message while I was actually halfway there, I said to myself, like, I don't expect anything of that rider today. Like, because I know, and I've been in situations myself, like the mindset you go into these things with is massive, I think. You know, I keep talking about it, but there's been races other than the British Hill Climb Championships where I've gone into it knowing that, you know, I'm talking myself into it. I know exactly what I've done, I know what I'm capable of doing. This is me today, and I'm going for it. And in like situations where things happen and they literally happen a couple of hours before the event, and you can't do a thing about it, like, sometimes it's worth saying to yourself, I don't expect anything of myself today. But it's not just that. Like, you can't just say it to yourself, you really have to mean it. You really have to step back out of your skin and look at it and think, why doesn't this mean as much to me today? And it's not just about the things that have happened that morning. It actually puts more things into perspective. So if things went wrong for me this morning, I would still know that I'd get a good effort in, I'd get a good ride, I've set a good benchmark, and I know there's at least 10 more time trials on this course this year, you know, in better conditions, in warmer temperatures, you know, in lower wind speeds, things like that. So I just wish, like, because, you know, coaching is what I do and it's what I love, but I wish that people could see that
it's more than just the training you've done, the performance that you do. It's more than the training you do is an indicator of the performance you'll get. It's particularly with time trials, I suppose hill climbs as well to a certain extent, but even road races, you know, if the conditions are bad and you don't perform well in those conditions, then so be it. You know, it's about taking that left field look at it and say, you know, I'm gonna suck it up today, and this is it. Like, this is it. This is the best I can do today, and I could go out tomorrow and I could do better, but today's today. Like, today's the race, and that's all I can do. So I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever, but it's floating around my brain right now, and there's quite a few riders who are racing now as well that I'm coaching, and I just want them to know that, and you to know that it's not just about the training that goes into the preparation. What you think, what you feel at those events, the morning of the event, the night before, the day before, the psyche is massive, and it's a cliche to say that the brain has not been explored in terms of, you know, what can be achieved in not just sports performance but human performance, but it's true. Like, it really is true. And I just want you to know that if you do a time you're not happy with, or if you do a performance that you're not happy with, that is not by any means whatsoever a true indication of who you are and what you are. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up now. I think I've rambled long enough, but I'm super happy with today's ride. I'm super content with it, and we've got to start thinking about now, like for me, April, because we're gonna have some road races coming up in April. I can't really do much more in terms of preparation for Mallorca. And we just got to roll with it. But thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every single like, comment and subscription. So I'll see you soon.